So if you live in King, Pierce, or Thurston counties, schedule a free home inspection at GoTerraFirma.com. GoTerraFirma.com or call 425-90-LEVEL. 425-90-LEVEL. Keep your home on solid ground. Terra Firma.
All right, we're on Facebook Live, the Ron and Don Show on KIRO Radio. Ron, what are we talking about here?
What are we talking about
What
here?
are we talking about?
What are we talking about here?
Well, I'm sad and I'm frustrated. I barely even read past the headline, 12 killed in California shooting, before I just looked away. It happened last night. It's not that I don't care, because I do. It's just that I feel helpless to change anything. Normally, here's where someone like myself would launch into some statistics about the unbelievably high rate of shootings like this compared with the rest of the Western world, or make some kind of plea for change based on emotion. I honestly don't know what to do anymore. Because as Don always says, we can all lip sync with the pundits on this issue. Everyone already knows what the talking points are on both sides. It seems like the only thing that dramatically changes a person's viewpoint is if you or someone you love is among the people shot. This issue has been hijacked by the most extreme 10 to 15% of people, even though the vast majority of Americans support common sense proposals about guns. I try to think about those folks that wanted to blow off a little steam after a stressful week, go listen to some country music and dance on a Wednesday night. We've all been in that mode. Does it matter what weapon he used and what the magazine capacity is? Does it matter that a law enforcement officer was killed as he entered the building trying to help? Does it matter that this is the third major incident like this in a little over a week? They say that people in addiction typically won't make a change until they reach rock bottom. I wonder if a country that seems addicted to firepower will ever reach rock bottom. Is there anything that could happen to finally persuade us that we can do better than this? The optimist in me would like to believe that it's possible, but the realist in me knows it's probably not true. I think I'm a lot like the majority of you. I have to ignore most of this story just to protect my own psyche. I wish there was something more I could do.
That's a really good analysis right there, Ron. I really like that. I was sharing with you yesterday, I'm reading a book called The Human Nature by Robert Greene. It really is fascinating, and it's just based on a lot of good science. And I would encourage people to do this, and I'm going to try to do this in my own life with you, is instead of having a conversation, which a lot of us would go to our Facebook pages, Twitter feeds, whatever, social media, and we would jump online, and we would embrace those talking points and then just have at it. Do you know that 60, and we all learned this in college, but I think we forget, 65% of what we're saying to each other is nonverbal. 65%. So if you're having a conversation with somebody about a topic like this, and the conversation is happening online, the conversation is actually not happening until we get face-to-face with somebody. Till we jump out of those silos, as we like to call those, and then have a real conversation. And then really listen to each other. Don't load up our minds with our talking points, but really sit there with empathy and listen to what the other person is saying and where they're coming from. And maybe that's how we move forward. By getting face-to-face and really listening to each other and really valuing what the other person has to say, even if we don't agree with it. But we'll listen to it. And I think every once in a while we have to remember, and we see this with each other, a lot of our communication happens between the two of us, and we have been best friends for an awful long time. We can walk into a room, we don't have to say anything. It is nonverbal communication. Sure. And we know that with our spouse, I think. We know that with some of our best friends, but sometimes we forget. Even with a stranger, that nonverbal communication, if you really want to know where they're coming from and what they're saying, every once in a while you have to shut down your Facebook page, pick up a cup of coffee, and dare to have a conversation.
And we talk about the 12 that got shot, the 12 that got injured. Go watch the video. I just retweeted it out on my Twitter feed of the dad that got his son out and is beside himself that he didn't go in and save more people, and the guilt that he's going to live with for the rest of his life. And I hope that he can forgive himself because he saved his son and he saved himself.
He shouldn't live with guilt, and he shouldn't.
But he is in tears. Like the ripple effect of this one incident doesn't impact 12 people or 24 people. It impacts thousands of people.
Yeah, great point. Yeah. He did something very heroic, so he should remember that. And he will, I'm sure, in time. You have some thoughts on this? You can text us, 98973. Or you and I can just go have a cup of coffee, get face-to-face, and read our nonverbal cues together. All right. Coming up, Tracy's going to help get you home. Heather has all the headlines. You'll hear from CBS News. And then it's time for Ron and Don's Top 5 at 5. We'll give you the top 5 news stories of the day. Follow along, and someone's going to win some REO Speedwagon tickets tonight. How about that? REO Speedwagon. Come to town. Ticketmaster.com right now if you want to get some of those tickets. It's Ron and Don on KIRO Radio on a Thursday. Thanks for stopping by and sharing your evening with us. We appreciate that.